must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.
Today, Kenya is faced with a dilemma. A dilemma caused by succession politics of 2022. A country beaten by forces of peace, unity, against forces of impunity, bad politics, and tribal politics. The good forces of peace, unity, national reconciliation, led by President Uhuru Kenyatta, want to live a united, prosperous, one person, one nation, one country called Kenya. The bad forces led by Deputy President William Ruto want to live a divided, broken, damaged, dismembered Kenya without unity of purpose. Kenya today stands at cliffhanger politics. A cliffhanger politics of Machiavellian nature, where at night we praise the devils. During the daytime, we praise the leaders. We go back at night, damage the leadership. That's where Kenya is today. Whichever divide you are, there is only one way out. One way out of this quagmire is to stick to a redemption strategy. Any conflict resolution expert on this panel, like Professor Onyari, will tell you the only way out to save this nation from sinking to the another chaos is to bring out the 9 points of the BBI. All of you know the 9 points of BBI. They touch national ethos, national bad elections. It is a cocktail of disaster that the two leaders saw that the four made them to shake hands and to bring it to the table. That for Kenya to conduct another election in this country without cleaning the national electoral mechanisms, the disaster will be worse than it was before. That for Kenya to go without national healing, reconciliation, accountability, restitution, reparation, truth-telling, forgiveness, we are staring at a disaster if we don't do a reconciliation now and never. It is now and never. Embarking on an early campaign has brought us to where we are. President Uhuru Kenyatta told people to concentrate on nation building. We abandoned the nation building ventures. We have gone on personal crusade ventures. We have gone on the same path where we believe we glorify corruption and glorify many things that are not glorifiable. It is sad, therefore, for my people of Kenya. It is also a call to the people of Kenya. Either they choose to go with the redemption strategy or they perish. The choice remains the choice of the people of Kenya. If you want to go with a redemption strategy of Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta of uniting this nation, that so be it. If you want to go with obsession of 2022 politics, even when there is no referee, and even when there is no competitor, yet the choice is yours. But at the end of the day, the citizens of this country are tired. If you don't see the fatigue that has come amongst the citizens who are being used as wheelbarrow pushers, who are being used as machines that will break in a day and you don't have any spare part to repair it, but it was done for PR, it is up to you. Do you empower people to push a wheelbarrow, or you empower people with knowledge? During this COVID-19, Rwanda, as a country that was besieged by the same disease that we see here, the disease of a creation of a hustler versus a dynasty. It is not different from the disease of a Tutsi versus a Hutu. You are not seeing what I'm seeing. Oh ye Kenyans, believe me, believe in me. You are not seeing what I'm seeing. You have created a narrative of a hustler versus a dynasty. It is like a Tutsi versus a Hutu versus a Tutsi. Look ye ahead. Look ye ahead in the horizon and see what is coming in 2022. It will be the battle of those that you want to eliminate against those who will be defending themselves. If you don't take my notes here, I will carry my dust. As the Bible said, go away with my dust. Good morning, wherever you are in Asmara, Mogadishu, Addis Ababa, Khartoum, Jamena, Bangui. Good morning, Africa. Good morning, wherever you are in Kinshasa, Kigali, Lusaka, Maputo, Blantyre, Lilongwe, Dar es Salaam. Good morning. Good morning in Rwanda. Good morning in Daura. Yaoundé. Good morning. Good morning in Jamena, Chad. Good morning all over Africa. This is the station for Africa by Africa with Africa. We are here to give you news across the continent. Good morning in Kampala, the capital of 7 rumors in a day. Each hero in Kampala produces a rumor. Good morning, Africa. Good morning, East Africa. In Juba, Dar es Salaam, Kigali, Bujumbura. Good morning. Good morning, my dear brothers and sisters of all over the continent, in Morocco, Rabat, Tunis, Algiers, Algeria. Good morning. Good morning wherever you are in Bamako. Good morning wherever you are in Banjul, in Gambia. Good morning in Freetown. Thank you very much. This is Political Command Center of Punchline Africa Television, all the way from London to the headquarters in Nairobi. We are sorry that Miriam is still on assignment, an investigative assignment. She will be back most likely this afternoon. She will be coming back. I'm standing broadcasting live from the center of politics, of civilization, from London. Good morning, Karanja in Nanyuki.
Good morning to you, Daktari. How are you doing? And good morning to my co-panelist, Douglas Kirimi, Wakili Kidi Mwanga. And good morning to our viewers wherever they are watching us from. It's a very good morning, a new week, new energy, positive vibe. We are ready to start the week in a style. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my panel. Ready to start the week in style. I would like to invite you to the African lecture tomorrow, all of you, to be present so that you can tussle with the southern Sadaka countries who will be present of Zimbabwe, South Africa, and so on. The topic tomorrow is very good. The relationship between Zimbabwe and South Africa. And I hope Sam is hearing the technical team. That is the topic for tomorrow. Is there diplomacy? Is there any diplomacy? Is it a diplomatic row? Oh, what? Thank you very much. Good morning, Douglas Budi Kirimi from Umeru, my son. Another one from Africa, the real man who writes letters. Writing a letter, penny pause. We used to have a penny pause. Are you writing a letter to the Deputy President of Kenya? Good morning, Budi Kirimi.
Good morning, Dr. David Matsanga from the Political Command Center in London. Good morning to my friend Jivan Karanja in Nanyuki. And good morning to my friend Kidi Mwaga in Nairobi, and also to our crew back at our headquarters in Nairobi. And thank you for making sure that every morning everything is set and is done. And thank you to your good work, Africa, and the globe is happy. And also good morning to our viewers. This morning, as we start the show, I'm a very sad man. My letter to the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya will be very straight, because the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, viewers, has told Kenyans to pick the phone and call the President and ask about development. This is a Deputy President who has been in power for 8 years.
We are coming. Hold the fire. We are coming. Good morning, Kidi Mwaga, the lawyer, the man who drives out of town, who knows how to enjoy life. Good morning, lawyer Kidi Mwaga, all the way from the CBD back to work.
Actually, that is not true. They say that work without play makes Jack a dull boy. Well, diving right into the heart of our subject matter this morning, first and foremost, a very good morning to you in London and our viewers across the globe. Good morning to fellow Kenyans. I am back in Nairobi and glad to be on Punchline TV to make sure that one, we demystify the half-truths, the lies, and the innuendos peddled by people who are out to undermine the legacy of the president. Thank you, Daktari.
Thank you very much. I will begin with you, Kidi.
Yes.
You traveled on SGR.
Yes.
To Ote.
Yes.
You can even see, I know how you went. And your ticket numbers. How is the situation on SGR?
Daktari, one thing I will tell you is that since independence to 2013, there was no single development on the on the railway since when it was left by the colonialists. It is President Uhuru Kenyatta who is, in his infinite wisdom, understood that a responsible government must make necessary infrastructural investment for a country to be able to compete with its peers in the global stage. And therefore, when President constructed the SGR and now developing the meter gauge lines, it is as East transport tremendously, one, not only for the passengers, but also for the businessmen who are hauling their cargo between the coast and Nairobi. Subsequently, the president has also, if you go to that part of the world, you see the road network, the building of roads that the president has done. You look at it and say that Mgala muue na haki mpe. Right? The president has done so much in regards to development of this country.
Thank you very much. You will tell us more about that development. But first of all, let's kickstart with the news that I see. I am looking for my phone to make sure that we understand the newspaper headlines. The Star newspaper has got Wairia 542 million tender probe causes Wairia's assets to be frozen. Are we seeing the end of any corruption cases in Kenya? Let me begin with you, lawyer.
Thank you. Daktari, before I answer that question, let me put it this way, that there was a time when the president came out strongly to fight this vice called corruption, because the way corruption undermines the legitimacy of a government, the way corruption siphons money from the government coffers and makes government unable to discharge its core mandate to its people. And when the president was fighting corruption aggressively in 2018 and subsequently in 2019, people came out, people like David Indi came out trying to castigate the president, claiming that the president had weaponized the war against corruption. Yes, the war against corruption must and should always be weaponized, because corruption is an enemy of the people. It impoverishes our collective lives. But then the president then decided to move away from trying to make it to insulate the war against corruption from political stimuli, and therefore the investigative agencies were left to do their work. Over the weekend, we learned that EACC has been making probes in about 25 law firms in Nairobi that received irregular payments from the Nairobi County government. People, you know that the high priest, the victim, the perpetrator of such corrupt schemes, then took a flight and ran to his master, who is the dean and the high priest of corruption. And after running there, they are claiming that they are being targeted. The question is, if and when they were as clean as Caesar's wife, why is it that they are scared with a mere inquiry by the investigative agency? Investigation does not imply that someone is guilty. But if someone is screaming from the rooftop, it is in itself a pointer that there could be guilt underlying. As we go forward, we want to laud the president's effort to try to fight this menace in spite of the difficult circumstances that we find ourselves in. It is a demonstration of leadership that we must support, leadership that must be emulated. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The opinion polls, despite the difficulties, we have tried our level best to put President Uhuru Kenyatta on top. Despite the economic turmoil, the survey shows that President Uhuru Kenyatta, if you look in your Star newspaper, page 5, which I don't have here because I have it talks about President is above in economy, excellent job done, 70%. Who did an excellent job? You get the healthy workers, and then we have the media. Number 2, 60%. We have the president with 46% for a good job done. When it comes to the economy, we have who did the poor job? We have Ruto. I think that will please Kirimi. He did a very poor job. So the president is with 46%, despite the pandemic and other difficulties that we see around here. Viewers, this is very, very interesting. An opinion poll, despite the difficulties that they have said on the president. Another headline in the Daily Nation says Ruto defends Uhuru over Raila attacks. I want to switch on to Kirimi. Can you tell us what Ruto is defending Uhuru about? Yet Ruto is the one who has gone out and actually besmirched, belittled, prostituted both younger people, brought about, destroyed the legacy of President Uhuru Kenyatta. Let's see. Let's go.
Thank you, Dr. David Matsanga. And this morning, I'm a very sad Kenyan because in criminal law, for you to, there are few defenses to criminal defense when you are accused of a crime. For example, people like Wairias of this world, Irungu Kangatas of this world, people that coerce around Deputy President William Ruto, they are all people who don't want to tell Kenyans the truth. And these are the same people that Deputy President has been banking on to be able to campaign and also talk to and also get to be elected the President of the Republic of Kenya. It is a sad day for us to understand when the Deputy President says that he is defending the President of the Republic of Kenya, whereas the Deputy President has spent a considerable amount of money to be able to fight the President, besmirch his legacy, and also ride on his also legacy in this country. These people that the Deputy President William Ruto has been using to be able to insult the President of the Republic of Kenya have also used the politics of Tanga to be able to come out clearly and defend themselves against criminal offenses that they have committed in this country. There are very few criminal defenses in criminal law when you are accused of things like corruption. And I hope that the people of Kenya will see the truth. And one of them is infancy, duress, and coercion, and also impossibility, and also non-compliance to law. But in Kenya, we have perfected the art and also the plan of using politics to sanitize corruption and also sanitize people who have stolen public resources. When you steal in this country, you run to William Ruto and declare that you are running for president. It is the same man that has sabotaged the war on corruption across this nation. Who hangs around billionaires who have stolen from government? William Ruto. Who hangs around people who scam foreigners and come and hide in the name of my tribe is targeted, myself and my family are being targeted? Who? William Ruto. Yesterday I saw William Ruto, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. This is a small letter to you. This is a season where people are writing letters to their political leaders and also people across the world. I also write SMSs to my friends. And Deputy President, you are our leader and also the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. Who was in your campaign yesterday? In your campaign was Rigathi Gachagua, the MP for Mathira. This is a corrupt man who has stolen over 200 billion and transacted huge amounts of money from government agencies and corrupted the county government of Nyeri. denied sick people access to medical care because you stole money, Rigathi Gachagua. You took that money to Tanga to be sanitized by the Deputy President William Ruto, who is in this camp, in your camp, who also sabotages the war on corruption in this country. It is Uhuru Kenyatta who has been paid dubious amounts of money from Nairobi City County. And how many companies were paid these amounts of money? There were several, over 22 companies, and they have gone to present themselves for investigations. But Uhuru Kenyatta picks a microphone and says, because I'm a wise man, because I'm a good lawyer, because I'm a good politician, I am being targeted. They hide in your camp, Deputy President William Ruto, because this is where political corruption and also economic crimes are accepted and people are sanitized. The President of the Republic of Kenya has done well. You cannot defend the President of the Republic of Kenya when you are dining with thieves and also people, evil people, who steal government resources and also commit economic crimes, and I invite you. Deputy President, you have moved into an hybrid political conman in this country. All the people that coalesce around you, all the people that invite you, Deputy President William Ruto, are corrupt people. Rigathi Gachagua has stolen from public. Mugambi Rindikiri, all these people have stolen from CDF. All the people that hide to you, the governor of Tharaka Nithi is under investigation. He is your friend. Governor Kasaine, he is your friend. Of Samburu, Turkana governor has received over 60 billion. No transformation in Turkana. These are corrupt people who have identified you, and you keep telling us you defend the President of the Republic of Kenya. Deputy President William Ruto, I want to know this morning, how are you defending President Uhuru Kenyatta when the war on corruption is on, and you are coercing and also collaborating with the thieves to continue plundering the economy of this nation, to continue stifling the economic growth of this nation, so that the young people of this nation will be promised non-existence wheelbarrows to be able to progress and also come out as a people. Deputy President, how are you promoting the legacy of President Uhuru Kenyatta and defending him from his enemies, political or perceived enemies, where you know very well you are the #1 enemy of the President of the Republic of Kenya? When you go around and tell Kenyans to pick their phone, Deputy President, and call their president, remember you were on a joint ticket since 2013. Over 8 years ago, Kenyans entrusted you with a mandate that calls you the principal assistant to the President of the Republic of Kenya. Why are you this morning telling us to pick the phone and call the president? In politics, we have also run as Kenyans of goodwill and patriotic citizens unlike you, who has stolen over 64 billion taxpayers' money paid by me and other poor people in this nation to build the people of Aurora and Kimorel dams. And you have not done that, Deputy President William Ruto. All you have done is to buy people from the president's backyard to besmirch him and call him names, where you are riding on the back of the President of the Republic of Kenya to become president in 2022. Deputy President William Ruto, a time has come, this year has come, so that we can tell each other the truth. You are not defending the president. You are not helping the president. The corrupt people that abide your court, the Irungu Kangatas of this world, when they see a corruption case, they run to politics of Tanga. They run to the deputy president so that they can continue insulting people. As Mike Sonko used about 870 million to fly the daughter to New York and also use county resources at the behest of the people of Nairobi. We have seen what General Badi has done with NMS in Nairobi. Sonko, you stole 357 money that is under 357 million shillings, money that is under investigation in Nairobi City County, and other monies, including the dubious transactions that you have done with the Irungu Kangatas of this world, so that you can defranchise the people of Nairobi, defraud the people of Nairobi. And now what you have done today is to continue insulting the president, hiding behind the deputy president, William Ruto, and William Ruto goes to newspapers and says, I am defending the president. You are not defending the president. You are the greatest enemy of development, progress, and a better tomorrow. For a better tomorrow, William Ruto must not be voted for president. For a better tomorrow, so that we can catch and also jail every corrupt people, we must pass BBI and stop Deputy President from running for any public office. He is not fit to run for any political office in this country. Why? This morning, Deputy President William Ruto, you are telling us, the people of Kenya, to pick the phone and call the president, and that is not what is going to happen, because Kenyans don't even have your number. Your number is your performance in Jubilee government. Your performance is dismal.
An opinion poll has come out and you have done totally nothing. You have been politicking from since 2013. You intensified the campaign as last as yesterday. In the afternoon, you are campaigning for president. You have done totally nothing for the people of Kenya, Mr. 6 months, as the Right Honorable Raila Odinga calls you, and you have besmirched and destroyed the legacy of President Uhuru Kenyatta. You have destroyed his government. You have followed the money where it is in projects. You have stolen from government projects. And William Ruto, we need to be frank with you. We need to tell you the truth, that you are not defending the President of the Republic of Kenya by associating with people who steal from the people, who have committed economic crimes. And this morning, we need to let you know that the people of Kenya are wiser than you think. You keep saying that Kenya is in shortage of foods, but the truth of the matter is, this morning, Kenya is in shortage of foods, and you can continue, you can lie to us once, but you cannot lie to us twice. We, the people of Kenya, Deputy President William Ruto, ask you to stop the shenanigans of telling us to pick the phone and call the president. It is uncalled for. You are disrespecting the president. Every time you open your mouth, every time the economic thieves who are around you, in the name of politics, they come, get sanitized and fumigated by the ones of none other but than the deputy president. Kiambu County had a governor impeached of corruption charges, Ains Baedu. Nairobi City County as a governor, Ains Baedu, very thief. In Samburu, they have a corrupt governor who has stolen billions of development money, Governor Kasaine. In Turkana, Governor George Patnanok. All these people, Deputy President William Ruto, a time must come for us to tell each other the truth. You are not helping the President of the Republic of Kenya. And Dr. David Matsanga, I submit.
Thank you very much, my brother Bundi Kirimi. Still on corruption, I will submit that if and when the deputy president and the people around him are people of high, have not involved themselves in corruption, I don't think that there is any reason why anyone around them should fear an inquisition by the investigative agencies. But you realize that every time the investigative agencies have attempted to make inquiries on anything, their first response has always that they demonize those agencies and then cite political persecution, which is something that we must be able to put a stop to, because going forward, it will undermine the integrity of such institutions. Thank you, I submit.
Yeah, thank you, my brother Kidi Mwanga. And let me make my contribution on the same issue of corruption in this country. One, we have seen since 2018, when the president inspired the fight against corruption, the people in the deputy president camp, they go around and they form a group and they start claiming that their tribe is being targeted. Their people are being targeted. And when you look at the people in the outfit calling itself Tanga Tanga or the Hasra Nation leaders, they are all in one way or the other have a corruption related case or scandal that is under investigation or is under the court of law. One, we have seen them, they have a strategy, and I call them strategy, my fellow panelists, because when they know they are being investigated, when they know they have a corruption case, they run out there and they start fighting the government, start pointing out the 1 or 2, 3 things that maybe the government is not doing well. Then when that investigation comes to the public domain, they run out there and they claim that they are being targeted because they put the government on check, because they put the government on criticism, because they put government on asking question on why it is not delivering maybe 1 or 2, 3 things. Therefore, to me, when you look at this issue, that is a strategy that they are using to go around so that they can hide their corruption deeds in the name of defending the common mwananchi, in the name of defending the downtrodden in the society. We know in this country, we have people who don't have means, people who don't know what they will take for supper tomorrow. But when you look at these people, they go, they use these people as a tool, and they call them hustlers. And when these people are given handouts, that is why they are given handouts, the wheelbarrows, the mkokoteni, so be from the corrupt deeds, so that they can continue remaining relevant, and they form a base that will support them when they are taken to a court of law. That is the strategy that they are using. They steal, they give these people they call hustlers, so that they will be taken to a court of law. When the investigation will be done, when DCI will summon them, these people who have eaten these handouts, they will start saying, these people are being targeted because they are helping the downtrodden. But that is not the case. Kiddy and Douglas and Doctor, if we want to help the society, what you do, you come up with the policies, you come up with agenda like the Big Four agenda that measures on the industrialization and the manufacturing industry so that the young people can be employed. The government of Uhuru Kenyatta, when you go to Dedan Kimathi University in Nyeri, they have a technological warehouse where they are creating and inventing the phones, the ships that we use in our phones. That is creating employment to young people. And the good news is we are even exporting these ships to countries like Japan. Therefore, means that we have the capability. If we get the right leader into the position of leadership, we'll have to grow our economy. Young people will be employed, but they will not be employed through corrupt proceeding in the name of giving them handouts, in the name of a wheelbarrow, in the name of anything else. And on the issue of William Ruto defending and trying to portray himself as a man who is defending President Uhuru Kenyatta from Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga is still in the opposition, Kiddy and Douglas and Doctor. They are not in a coalition or an agreement pact to work with the Jubilee. He is doing his work of pointing fingers to 1 or 3 things that he feels the government is not working. If there's someone who has helped the Jubilee administration on its second term, is the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga through the handshake, because the president, when you look at the development track of President Uhuru Kenyatta track record, since the handshake, when you go to Kisumu, Kiddy, you are a witness. We have development in Kisumu. Yes. When you come to Nanyuki, therefore the development have cut across the whole country. Therefore, the deputy president cannot claim to criticize the former prime minister when he is doing his work. We need to ask the deputy president, since 2013 to 2018 before handshake, what projects have you delivered? What have you delivered? If he has not delivered anything, then we start asking ourselves, from handshake, has the government of Jubilee delivered? Yes, we have the meter gauge railway in Nanyuki. We have development across the country. Since handshake, this country is under construction. And we must give credit where it's due. When we had the Grand Coalition government, when former Raila Odinga was the prime minister, that is when we got development. That is when we got the Thika Road. Therefore, this means that where Raila Odinga goes, development follows him. We have a BBI process that intends to bring all Kenyans together, that intends to bring inclusivity, that intends to intensify the fight against corruption. Therefore, BBI is a good thing, and the deputy president has been criticizing that process that intends to bring sanity into our political and economic doings. Therefore, it is high time we call the hypocrisy in him out, and we tell him the handshake is strong, and he has no any mandate to criticize the former prime minister, because through the former prime minister, we have a BBI and we have a stable country politically and economically. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Daktari, before you come in kindly.
Yes.
My brother Javan has mentioned something that I think I must build on.
Yes, build it now.
Yes, His Excellency, the Deputy President, over the weekend went on the offensive, attacking the Prime Minister. But then it must be remembered, first, the Deputy President has been saying that the government has failed in the second term. in part that because the government embraced BBI and left everything else. That is a misinformation and a deliberate disinformation that we must call out. It must be remembered that in the first term, the deputy president ensured that he politically made it difficult for the president to deliver, and even when the president gave him the benefit of the doubt and entrusted him to supervise projects, what he did was launching fake projects after fake projects after fake projects, and conveniently ensuring that monies intended for those projects were carried in sacks into his residence. Jubilee administration in the second term has done so much that we must demonstrate, and we are willing to demonstrate. Yesterday, in the Lake Victoria, you know that the water hyacinth has wreaked havoc in the lives of the fishermen over there. And yesterday, the president launched, we had the hyacinth harvesting machines on the lake, already removing that weed and therefore permitting ordinary people down there to be able to get into the lake and fish and come out and sell their fish and educate their children and go to the hospitals and build proper homes and lead decent lives. But then William Ruto's politics has been premised on rubbishing all this. Secondly, they are saying that the government has failed, in part because they fear that if they admit the truth, that the government has built these roads, a number of roads in these 3-4 years, that the government has opened up the meter gauge railway, that the government has ensured that there is the law that ensures that there is the tea farmers and coffee farmers are able to get decent pay from their produce. They fear that the Prime Minister is going to take credit for this, and that this is going to give him a head start into the presidential elections come 2022. I think that for a moment, would His Excellency the Deputy President pause and run away from the politics of next elections and concentrate on what is important for the young people of this country? And when I speak about young people, I wish that he speaks about the genuine interests of the young people, not the politics of hustlers versus wheelbarrows that he is talking about. Thank you.
Thank you very much, viewers, wherever you are in the world. Thank you very much for those points and the concerns about the Kenyan newspapers. There is one question that I want to put and one statement I want to make. One, you were born in a home where your father was poor. Two, you struggled, your father took you to school. Three, you studied, went to school, you are able to come out, and the first thing that you do, the first job that you do, determines how you repay your father. I'm saying this because I want to change the narrative, the so-called hustler narrative. If you were a hustler, you must show the record how you hustled. Unless English has changed. But if we are using hustler in terms of people who work hard, then I would tend to agree with Kirimi and the panel that the Deputy President did not hustle. Two, Ruto is not a hustler. Ruto is a parasite. Is a political parasite, economic parasite, a social parasite that has actually been eating the moral fabric of this country called Kenya. So if you get a political parasite who uses President Moi to acquire a seat in the parliament, is he a hustler? If you get a political parasite who uses President Moi to get a car, is he a hustler? A hustler must buy his own car. The hustler must have someone coming to knock on the door, hire purchase, to collect that money. When we grew up, my father bought a sewing machine for my mother called Singer. A Singer. I don't know whether most of you have Singer sewing machines. Because my mother was a community worker, welfare officer, who, because of her being the mother of Mothers Union, she used to go every Wednesday to teach other women what a good marriage is, how to handle their husbands, how to behave, how the children must behave in the house. That's my mom. But my father bought a Singer sewing machine at about 60 shillings of Uganda. 60. I'm talking about the 60s, when Uganda's currency was really 60 shillings was real money. Remember when Uganda got independence, education was very high. Makerere University remains the high-ranking university in the world. The schools some of us went to, the marks were so high, you could not enter some school just like a Ruto entering Nairobi University and coming out with a PhD. No. You must work hard. So every Friday, this is Singer sewing machine Indians. They had a car. They could come around rotating up to the village to collect 5 shillings from my mom and my father. When my father is not there, they would leave an envelope of 5 shillings to pay Singer sewing machine. They could also come and service the machine. If you fail to pay for the machine, they take it away. Have you seen? I'm now trying to find out whether the first car that Deputy President got, was it on hire purchase? Did he bump somebody down and got the car free? You know, there are people who can bump a person and they get a car free. So when he got his first car, was this car free? Was this car on hire purchase? So to call yourself a hustler, you must tell the people where you got the money. And I want to be very candid to tell you, frankly, all that this story of a hustler versus a dynasty will break Kenya to pieces. Therefore, I submit. If your father came back from the grave to ask you, how did you amass this wealth? How do you explain to your father? I hope the panel has got what I'm trying to say. How would you tell your decent father that, father, I went and I grabbed a tender, I got 10% a kickback? Some fathers would be very upset. They will tell you, take back that money. Like my father will say, take it back, because it's not your money. So I want us to look at this hustler and the dynasty theory as a very dangerous theory that is going to divide Kenya. And we must stop it. We must block it. The government must come in and block this thing called hustler dynasty narrative. If they wait, this man is going around the country sharpening people's emotions against the government. People are being killed. People's property is being burned. If you walk down the street of Nairobi, River Road, and somebody says, there is dynasty here. By the time police rescue you, your shirt and your coat is gone. People would have beaten you already. This man is cementing hatred. This man is preaching hatred. The country is watching a guy preach hatred. These political rallies in Dagoretti, in where this is hatred. The government is not reacting, is not acting. I'm speaking from the bottom of my heart. If you don't stop this narrative of hustler, the narrative of hustler versus the hustler versus dynasty, believe me or not, we are going to have a very big problem. Therefore, I want you to make your remarks based on now achievements. President Uhuru Kenyatta has achieved. And we want Karanja, then Kidi, then Kirimi, as the studio brings in the achievements, the roads, the construction, the infrastructure. Why President Kenyatta is still being given 46%? He's a performer. But because we have thieves, we have a thief who came and started hiding under his cupboard, whom we thought we had brought a very good man. He started eating the timber of the cupboard. And every time when you open the cupboard, you find there is a paper put behind to seal the hole. That's how the DP has been operating. Can he explain to us why all the thieves, all corrupt people go to his office? Why are these corrupt people not going to State House? Why don't they go to Harambe House, where the president's office is? Why do you crowd everybody? I saw someone who used to be a DO during Moi's days. Kachagwa used to beat people. Did you know that? As a DO in Kiambu.
The butcher of Moro. The 1992 crashes in Moro, he killed a lot of people, and he is the source of the hatred that we see in Rift Valley. He is the butcher of Moro.
Where the Stockholm syndrome is. Who is the person in Kenya who has the Stockholm syndrome? DP. He has held the people in the Rift Valley as hostages, blackmailed them. If you don't vote me in 2022, I will uproot you. Are you speaking the truth? People need to know the truth now. Yeah. If you don't have Sonko as a man who demonizes President Uhuru Kenyatta in Dagoretti, the town will be clean. This man does not want a clean Nairobi. The DP wants a Nairobi where his cronies go to. Did you see the men who are charged with Sonko? All of those two men are always in the deputy president's office, especially the big one, black one, that big huge one, that he's doing biashara. There's one time we are going to The Hague. He was also seated in the business class. Kumbe is a thief stealing money from the local people, that he was going to The Hague to the cases. So these are some of the things that I want to tell you. That if Kenyans are not careful, look at what General Badi has done in the town. You can even pick food from the street and eat because it is clean. He has brought back life in Nairobi. And now you go and get Sonko and bring Song on a rally to insult President Uhuru Kenyatta on a daily basis, day, morning, day, night. What can Sonko do? If the government was vindictive, they only tell the commissioner of prison to look for the prisoner who got lost. Eh? Kirimi. That's the situation. So, Karanja, take it away.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. David Matsanga, and for that great insights that you have given us on the explanation of what really the Hasra narrative is. Let me say this. The Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya is on record on Citizen TV. He said that he was given the first pass of land when he was still in the University of Nairobi by then President Moi. And that is how he bought his first Mercedes car. And that is how he got into riches. And that is how one day he said that Mtoto hakutembea na viatu, but now he's dining with the people who is who in this country. Therefore, in his record, the Deputy President has never been employed anywhere. He has never worked anywhere. And the chicken business that he claims to have started, we don't know. There's nothing that points out that he has carried out that kind of a business anywhere in this country, because he was given money when he was still a student. And when he completed his studies, he came to KY 92, and that is how he started becoming a man who opposes good governance. He opposed the 1992 calls to repeal the constitution, to have the multi-party democracy instituted back into our constitution. Therefore, he has never hustled anywhere. Therefore, his claims that he is a hustler, these are just a fallacy. It's something that does not hold any water, and he is just using it to excite the masses who are ignorant to follow his claims that he has been a hustler and they can be like him. But we know when he became into the Ministry of Agriculture, we lost a lot of money when he was at the helm of Agricultural Ministry through the maize scandals. When he has been the Deputy President, we have seen a lot of corruption scandals coming from his office. We see the Kimorel and Arol dams, we see the NHIF, the KPLC, and all these corruption, where his pointsmen have been, in one way or the other, been the mastermind in all these kind of corruption-related scandals. Therefore, the Deputy President bringing the Hasra narrative is just a way of exciting the people so that they can rise against each other. Sorry to say this, and this is the reality on the ground. If you start having a good shot, if you start having a good car, the people in these streets will start calling you a dynasty. A few days ago, a friend of mine who subscribes to this Tanga notion, he was telling us that they believe that those people who have money is the one who they have money because they have denied them money and they have taken what belongs to them. That is why they are excelling in their life. And when you look at this explanation, you see a lot of bitterness, a lot of hatred that has been inculcated into these people by the Deputy President. I saw the other day, the Deputy President, William Ruto, when he was in Kakamega, trying to explain to the people what Hasrarism agenda is. And he is trying to say that the Hasrarism agenda is to bring everybody on board. And I would like to ask the Deputy President and his supporters, who is he bringing on board when the UDA party, the party that he subscribes to, all the party officials are a billionaire? When we had a by-election in Musambweni, he supported a millionaire. When the by-election in Matungu, he didn't pick a mama boga, he didn't pick a boda rider to run for the UDA ticket. When we had a coming by-election in Nairobi, the Deputy President took Mangri to Wanjiru, a person who have been in the leadership. His son was a member of parliament, and he gave him the UDA party. Therefore, in one way or the other, the Deputy President does not support the downtrodden. He doesn't support those people who come from humble background, but he supports who have means. He supports people who already have money. We see the Rigathi Gachagua. His brother was a governor. He was a DO in 1992. Therefore, this man has been in government for more than 30 years. And he still calls himself a dynasty. Susan Kihika, his father was a minister. he's still on the deputy president camp. Moses Kuria has been a member of parliament for three terms. Therefore, when you look at all these scenarios, nobody who is in Tanga now is a real hustler. Nobody in this narrative, in this group of hustlerism of this Tanga has hustled. These people have been in corruption since they were in this position of leadership. And on President Uhuru Kenyatta legacy, Dr. Where you go around this country, you'll see a lot of developments. One, the President Uhuru Kenyatta has majored on the Tibet institution.
Sorry, we lost my brother Jevan Karanja. Well, one thing I must say from the outset is that, let me quoting words of Martin Luther King Jr., that true compassion is more than flinging coin in the hands of a beggar. And the hustler narrative has been predicated on supposed philanthropy. The question is, how sustainable is that philanthropy? And how is that philanthropy going to ensure that the government services are spread across board to all the 50 million Kenyans who put a government in place to do for them those things that we cannot do for ourselves? Provide security, provide basic dignity, that after a lifetime of work, you are able to retire in dignity, that you are able to take your children to school, and after taking your children to school, that those children will find a job, that those children will find a conducive environment to do business, that those children are then able to contribute meaningfully to society. Today, when we are being told about this hustler thing, some of us want to give the deputy president benefit of the doubt and hear him out. But then every time you attempt to listen to the deputy president and his core and people around him and people who write for him, the only thing you get out is sloganeering and just thumping and shouting, nothing coherent. If and when hustler narrative meant anything substantial, we would have had coherent policy suggestions, policy prerogatives on what a possible hustler government would do, and why he feels that what he thinks that the president is doing wrong, that he would be seeking to course correct. But that is not coming out at all. So that one conclusion that one is left with is that the deputy president is angry at the president, is bitter with the president, and bolting out of government on the basis of inordinate pursuit of power for power's sake and nothing else. William Ruto has been in this government since it was elected in 2013, and then they got themselves in power again in 2017. To date, if there was a substantive disagreement that William Ruto had with the president, the logical, decent, and respectful thing that we, the people of Kenya, expected that the deputy president would have done was to ensure that, one, he outlines these differences with the president, possibly give an opportunity for the president and his party to respond to these things, that if and when they were not met, then he would bolt out. But the mere fact that since 2018, he went on the off-charm offensive of saying that watu ambao baba zao walikuwa what and what. Truth is, his father was the age-mate of those people he calls dynasties. So that the question is, what was his father doing while those other people's fathers were becoming dynasties? He has also said that the president, that the BBI was about expanding the executive for certain people. The question is, William Ruto, with the advice he has at his beck and call, because I won't say that William Ruto, I mean, we must agree that he is a brilliant man. He knows that the pure presidential system as we have it has proved so predatory, has proved unable to capture our aspirations as a people, and also has failed to accord and correspond with our political traditions and customs. So that is why we go back to what any constitutional law will tell you, an autochthonous constitutional model. William Ruto has not come out to say that he has a fundamental difference with all this. So that when he goes around, today he's attacking the president, tomorrow he's coming out that he's defending the president. I mean, please spare us that. You cannot insult the intelligence of the 50 million Kenyans. The thing is that pursuit of power for its own sake, which leads to what we call a zero-sum game, is one of the most dangerous trends that can happen in a democracy. And therefore, we must be able to call this out. We must not let it stand. We must not let it go unchallenged. Because if that happens, our children and children's children will ask, and where were you when this country was taking such a dangerous stand? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, viewers, wherever you are. Thank you very much for watching our show. We have been looking at the Kenyan with breakfast with Dr. Masanga. We now come to the end of our show. And as we come to the end of our show, we would like to see points that we pick up from here. One of the points that I see coming out is very clear. The government must stop the Hustler dynasty narrative, period. Either they make it illegal, because it is one form of mobilizing for genocide. It is a form of mobilizing for genocide. You have seen people's rollies, trucks. If you have an accident, which you not intend to have, with a motorbike rider, and you are traveling to Malaba, you might come back in a coffin. This is being taken seriously, and the people are banning people's things. So very soon, those who think that the Hustler issue is for Uhuru, or the Hustler issue is for Gideon or Raila, or those who have made money, this thing will come to the town. Those who have buildings, how did you get your building? People will not pay your rent because they say you stole our money and the building you are living in. It is very, very important that when you start a class struggle, you must be prepared to have very bad consequences. So this class struggle that Ruto and the group have started, if the government of Kenya does not want to check on them, let's prepare for a bigger prison in The Hague. Can I summarize it that way?
Dr. Masanga, allow me to make a point on the development of President Uhuru Kenyatta for a minute.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Doctor. Deputy President William Ruto and company have also told us the government has not performed anything, and it was hijacked since 2019 by the BBI and also the Adishek. But as the people of Kenya, we need to understand that development has never stopped roaring. What was stopped from being right to Kenyans and also being roared to Kenyans were the fake promises that were being made by Mr. 6 months, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya.
In Garissa County, the President of the Republic of Kenya under his administration has been able to construct Mondika Nuno Road, a road that has been able to open up the whole of Garissa, and also the Nuno Mondogash Road that is very famous for travelers who want to use the other end to Ajil and also Mandera counties. The people of Bomet County from Amwaro River to Kapurong have also benefited from a road that has been constructed by the President of the Republic of Kenya in his administration. The people of Elgeyo Marakwet have benefited from the road from Eldoret to El Bobut in the forest, El Bobut forest in Mau, where Kipchumba Murkomen and his family have grabbed government land, and also that forest will be reclaimed by the Minister for Forestry, Keriako Tobiko. And also in Busia County in Western Kenya, the road from Njinja to Bumara, that 7 kilometers, has been able to be constructed, a multi-billion project by the President of the Republic of Kenya. In Nyeri County, where Rigathi Gachagua comes from, a billionaire thief who has been coercing and hiding in Tangatanga function, saying the government has performed nothing since the handshake came, the government of the Republic of Kenya has constructed Kiamwadi to Gatito Road 2, 17 kilometers road that has been able to transform that area from Sagana State House to Kirimoko, to some place in Kirimokoyo, has been constructed by the President of the Republic of Kenya. In Mombasa, we have the famous Ndongokudu bypass that has been able to be constructed by the President of the Republic of Kenya. And these are the same people telling us the President has done nothing. The southern bypass, which is the Gaudokudu bypass, is 9.5 kilometers that has been constructed by the President of the Republic of Kenya.
Yes. Thank you very much. In conclusion, therefore, yes.
And therefore, what we see today, the Tangatanga people telling us the president has not been able to perform since the BBI came and handshake, it's pure lies. What was stopped is what William Ruto has been steering and also lying to Kenyans, that he is a performer and is a billionaire. He needs to tell us what was his father doing when other fathers were looking for money, like Kidia Sodas, because you cannot become a billionaire by pushing wheelbarrows. You cannot become a billionaire by selling chicken. I need that formula because I'm also tired of waking up and also singing the song of working hard, whereas the deputy president became a billionaire by selling chicken. I need that blueprint. Deputy President William Ruto, send it to me. I'm a young Kenyan. I'll vote for you in 2022. If I become a billionaire in 18 months, I'll be very happy to vote for you. If it's not so, please stop lying to people of Kenya, especially the people of Mount Kenya. Don't lie to us. Don't tell us to call the president. And may God bless you as you go home in 2022. Thank you.
The truth is, in conclusion, I thank you very much, all of you, for being on the panel this morning. The conclusion is class struggle is dangerous to any African country. A third world country like Kenya that has not assumed a middle class. You see the problem that people want to say, we don't have a middle class in Kenya. We have a pseudo class, a thieving class. Yes. And I'm sorry to say this, Mr. Kirimi and kids who are wearing ties. These are pseudo class. We don't have a middle class in Kenya. Where is it?
Doctor, you attacked our neckties.
Yes, no, not the neckties. I'm attacking this. Everybody you find in Africa, whether in Uganda, whether in Kenya or Zimbabwe, he has stolen either from the local people or he has stolen from the government. So there's no middle class. It's a pseudo class. Why is it? If you put a roadblock on Karen Road, where Ruto stays, and say everybody coming down who lives in Karen to show me the land title of the house and how he bought the house, some people would decide to drive to Uganda, but not to use that road anymore. I'm telling you, there are very few people in this world in a third world country who can account how they built their houses. That's why I brought this question of the car. How did hire purchase, Singer sewing machine? Our clothes were being sewn on a machine. We bought a radio, Panasonic radio. It was on hire purchase. And we had a booklet. So you can account, even today, my mother has kept those things. We can account that this is what the poverty we went through. Surely. But when you just come from university and become an MP, YK 92, you still here, you still there, you hammer people down, you strangle people's necks. You know, there are so many stories. So when you come out, you want to lead Kenya, people will scrutinize you. Me, I am not looking for leadership. It is the deputy president who is looking for leadership. So people have to talk about his past history. People have to expose his past, how he has done. Mudhama stood on a platform and said, Deputy President Ruto killed Jacob Juma. So how can you be a member of UDA? Has Mudhama withdrawn those words publicly? Has Mudhama withdrawn those words publicly? You heard it yourself. Am I wrong? Kirimi, you heard it. Didn't you hear Mudhama saying that the deputy president killed Jacob Zuma?
Yes, I did, and I also heard him say that William Ruto is a billionaire thief.
Didn't you hear Hassan Omar saying that Ruto killed people in the Rift Valley?
He did, and also coached witnesses against William Ruto in ICC, but today they are in UDF together.
Didn't you hear that Moses Kuria said he bought witness for 2,000 shillings to fix William Ruto?
Yes, he did, and he also campaigned against William Ruto from running for president in this country.
Didn't you hear that Murkomen, senator, was witness number 520 something? I don't want to say the last number.
He was the one that was working with NGOs to coach, and also together with Governor Sang of Nandi. But today they are preaching to us that we must direct that thief and also that person who was killing their people in the Rift Valley.
Didn't you hear that Governor Sang was a witness, key witness of ICC number 44? The rest is stars.
It is the same man that has told us in Rift Valley we cannot be able to talk about BBI in Nandi because William Ruto is being excluded from government. But it is the same man who was sending William Ruto to ICC. Until you came to defend them, it is very important to tell our viewers, until you came to save the two people.
We are coming. Then I give you the time to finish. We are coming. You didn't use. No. Don't you know that Kimani Kunjiri was the chief architect of coaching witnesses together with Gicheru?
Yes, I heard that, and it is also in public domain, and also he took a lot of people from Nakuru, but today he is the greatest crusader of William Ruto's presidency, the same man that sold him to ICC and has continued to swim in millions from ICC.
I want to tell you the truth, that history is about to repeat itself very soon. Very soon. If people forget so easily, without accepting Uhuru Kenyatta's degree of reconciliation, putting the nation together, there will be chaos. If Kenya goes to elections with the same electoral mechanisms, prepare for a bigger wedding, bigger than the one we had in 2007. a wedding that will have no guests, but everybody will be eaten, or will be food to be eaten. Have you ever heard of such a wedding where only beautiful ladies come to be eaten, or beautiful men come to be eaten? There's nobody who escapes. That's the type of wedding. Thank you. Before we leave, we want to go to the situation in Uganda, which I will give each of you, especially the Ugandan expert, a minute, 2 minutes each to talk. Yesterday we discussed the Uganda issue of wider dialogue. Do you still believe that wider dialogue can solve the current stalemate that we have in Uganda? Quickly, 1 minute. I start with Kidi. Mike.
Thank you, Daktari, for giving me the opportunity to say something about the Ugandan question. One is that the continued detention of house arrest of Robert Sentamu Chagulanyi is something that should not be permitted to stand, because it offends all common sense, all principles of natural justice, and all laid down procedures in electoral democracy and politics. So that when Chagulanyi is put in house arrest, it demonstrates, or it symbolizes, the continued suppression of the people of Uganda by the person to who's currently exercises their sovereign power. Secondly, is that there is a muted response from the bodies that ordinarily should be calling for accountability in Uganda. AU is not speaking about the situation in Uganda. The EAC is not speaking. All of them are quiet, and they've left the people of Uganda to their own devices. Over the weekend, I saw my sister Stella Nyanzi asking the people of Uganda to go and storm Chagulanyi's house. That is a position that I personally identify with. Because when you put people down, when you suppress people and threaten them with the barrel of the gun, there is just so many people you can kill, but you cannot kill everyone. So that if even a quarter of the people who voted for Robert Sentamu Chagulanyi would step up to go and demand for his release, one, it would lead to massive loss of life. That is a trajectory that we do not want. But I do not know why Museveni fails to realize that continued detention of Chagulanyi diminishes the small legitimacy that he would be enjoying. That further and significantly, he continues to inflame the passion, the anger of the people of Uganda against his own government, and that would has a potential of leading to a possible unrest of unmitigated proportions, and that may lead to the position of government as we know it in Uganda today. So we are still calling on Museveni and the people around him to act with restraint to ensure that they engage all stakeholders towards the return of normalcy in Uganda, so that the people of Uganda may begin to rebuild their lives. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you, Doctor, for the opportunity to say a word or two on the issue in Uganda. One is unlawful and it is undemocratic to have Bobby Wine in house arrest and in detention and deny him basic facilities that can keep him moving. He is not allowed to go out there for shopping. He is denied food, and the government of Museveni has not come in public to point out which crimes did Bobby Wine commit, apart from the claims that they are making that he is destabilizing peace. And I want to tell the people of Uganda that Bobby Wine is not destabilizing peace. He is only shaking the bad regime of Museveni. That is why he is worried. That is why he feels if he sets Bobby Wine free, his supporters, he might have a say, and his supporters might go into demonstration demanding for better services. That is why he has put him in house arrest. Number two issue that I don't know whether it is enshrined in the constitution in Uganda, but here in Kenya, we have a timeline when you can present your presidential petition in the Supreme Court. I think Museveni is playing with time factor to ensure that when the Bobby Wine is set free, he will not have the time to present a presidential petition, will have lapsed. I think that is a scenario where baby Museveni is looking into. And I agree with Dr. David Masanga and other international agencies that are calling for a dialogue, because when people sit down, when things are ironed in the table, a greatness is achieved, prosperity is achieved. In this country, Kenya, when we had the 2007-2008 post-election violence, we had mediators, arbitrators who came in these countries, and they ironed things out, and we got a grand coalition government that continued until 2013, when we got the regime of President Uhuru Kenyatta. Therefore, things are possible. I want to encourage the people of Uganda that things are possible, and when they should not take the violence route, because when you go for the violence, everybody will suffer. Those who support Bobby Wine and those who support Museveni, both of them will suffer, because when two brothers fight, it is an outsider who inherits their property, and an injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. What we should do as a people who love peace, as a people who love justice, is to continue calling for prosperity, is to continue calling for dialogue, because when Uganda is unstable, when Tanzania is unstable, the neighboring country also feel the pinch of their instability, and they are not safe. Therefore, we call for a peaceful dialogue, a peaceful demonstration if it must be, and the things in Uganda will be set out free. And I want to condemn the government of Museveni for detaining Bobby Wine without any crimes that he have committed. And it's so hypocritical that the army spokesperson says that Museveni is not aware that Bobby Wine is under house arrest. Everybody in the world knows that Bobby Wine is house arrest. How comes that Museveni is not aware that Bobby Wine is under house arrest? That is hypocritical. That shows a man who has no regard for humanity. And a time will come when he continued detaining Bobby Wine, people will walk on the street. And as Kida has said, I also saw the post by Stella Nyanzi calling for the people to march to Magere so that they can take out Bobby Wine by force, so that they can unchain and unhook Bobby Wine from the house arrest. That is a move that is a pain that comes to the people of Uganda when they see one of them suffering for crimes that he didn't commit, suffering because he ran for president, suffering because he challenged the regime of President Museveni, suffering because he is calling for good governance, suffering because he calls for service delivery. That thing is paining the people of Uganda and everybody else who is patriotic to their country, and all people around East Africa country. We are calling for the release of Bobby Wine, and a dialogue is the only route. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Information coming from Kampala. Information coming from Kampala, Uganda, indicated that the High Court of the Republic of Uganda has issued a court order telling soldiers to vacate the premises of Bob Wine and allow Bob Wine to walk free. I told you that there is no judge at the moment in Uganda who did not see the atrocities, and who is not seeing the atrocities. So we want to thank the Uganda judiciary for issuing a court order. And the test now is upon President Museveni's marauding army, crack units, to vacate the building and go back to the barracks. If they don't, then the Stella Nyanzi operation. You see, I've been warning these guys And I've been telling them, be careful. And I don't know who is advising President Museveni. But the time has come for you to open up your antennas, President Museveni, and listen to other advice apart from listening to your tribesmen. Only listen to us Ugandans who love peace, who want peace. The more you antagonize Baganda, the more you are rising their nationalism. Mzee, hiyo Kampala itakuwa uwezi kukaa. Please, you and I, we have been in this battle. Wewe, you are there first. We were in Tanzania together. We saw Idi Amin go. We saw Lule go. We saw Binaisa go. President Museveni, don't say you don't know me. But I'm your brother. I'm just telling you, and I'm a brother from Eastern Uganda. Trying to tell you, the more you antagonize this small man, our younger son here, the more you are making Buganda nationalism rise. They are getting tired, and you might not tire them anymore. Believe me or not, Obote had support. You don't have real support like the one Obote had in '66. Today you don't have. In fact, the only support you have are your people. You can imagine the people who have been chasing Chagulanyi, Amusime, Umzumne, Umgunda, Umzunda. You don't have. Those will be easily identified. So you'll have a problem with the rise of nationalism in Buganda. They will soon tell us to get out. You are antagonizing. You have won allegedly. You got this election through the tallying center now, which we have located where it was. Sorry. Just call. Sorry. Let me drink some hot tea. Sorry about this. Call because it's very interesting for me. That's why Kirimi and the viewers call this younger man and put him on the table, sit down, and tell them you stole a bit of the votes, or you whatever language you can use. You can even tell them you won. But let's now work for a better Uganda. But Your Excellency, if you go on imprisoning this guy, detaining him not to go out, Ugandans at the moment are about to forget about elections. They are not going to ban things. And me, I would not agree with any Ugandan who would like to get a torch and go and ban property. That one, I don't count me in. I will not agree with violence because I'm a peacemaker. I and Rugunda, we are peacemakers. We made peace in northern Uganda. Today, President Museveni is getting his vote from northern Uganda. Plenty of it. Plenty of it. Because peace came through Matanga and the Ruakana Rugunda. The rest of the radicals, the Tinefunzas, the Salim Saleis, they wanted a fight with Konya up to the end. The book that is going to come out will expose quite a lot of things. People wanted a fight, to fight with these guys up to the end. But we stood in the middle and said, no, let's have peace. Some of us went out in the forest of Congo to look for that peace. And we got Uganda, northern Uganda, peaceful. Our people went out of camps, concentration camps, where they had been herded like wild animals, where they were having no medicine, no food. They went back. Today, northern Uganda is vibrant. Northern Uganda is flourishing with peace. But you cannot rely on force. How much army you can put. Imagine today you are not there, Your Excellency. Who will control this force? I'm just asking, who will control this force? Who? So there you are. I encourage Ugandans to be peaceful as they are. The good news is that the court has ruled that Mr. Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, also known as Bob Wine, be released from his captivity by soldiers, should leave the compound. Go away. The court orders must be obeyed. And Kyagulanyi is free to walk, to go anywhere, unless they have charges that they want to prefer him. Then we can take step by step. I want to thank all the lawyers, all of them. Some of them we have talked over phone. Continue with the good work out here in London and other places. We're also mobilizing diplomatic and other, avenues of making sure that Uganda does not go to flames. Thank you very much. I think with those few words, I beg to move to close the show. Good morning, Africa. Prepare for the next show. Coming next, top of the hour, is Somalia. Ooh. Somalia is fanning its own chaos to blame it on Kenya. Don't miss that. Don't miss that. Coming next, the man himself, the regional guy. Give me a credit, Kirimi, here. And the Kidi and the Karanja. This is the boy. I'm gonna tell you facts. The same man, I told you. And at this time, take your notes. I want you to take the first hour, you take your notes and ask me questions. Instead of, we want to teach people what diplomatic leaks is. Thank you.